The Umbrella Academy is a new series that's dropped on Netflix. It's based on a Dark Horse comic book series that I think currently comprises 2 volumes. It's 10 episodes long. Each episode takes just shy of an hour. It's a really, really good series, or at least I liked it a lot. It visually reminds me a lot of Legion, another comic book based series that was on the FX network. That's because it's sort of set in the modern time, but there are design elements that make it so you can't quite place it in this time or necessarily this reality. And it looks like it's been very carefully curated in that respect, and it's great for the eye as well. You know, you've always got something else to look at on the screen and go, oh, well, that's strange, or that's different, or that's from a different time. So it makes it sort of interesting and fun. And talk about interesting and fun, it also mixes genres. It is not really a straight hero show as, say, something on the CW like your Arrows or Supergirls or things like that. It's more that these characters are 7 babies that were all born at exactly the same time to women who were not pregnant. They are purchased or adopted by a millionaire businessman. I'm going to say philanthropist, but I don't think he necessarily is. And trained to be a crime fighting team. He is cold and removed, and whilst he's their father, he doesn't show them much love and sees them as experiments, constantly studying them. This results in them eventually breaking up and becoming estranged from each other, let's say, because of the way they were all treated. One in particular, Vanya, who was understood to have no special powers, and then due to the father's sudden death or murder, as they're not sure what it was, they're brought back together to deal with that. Having said all that, they don't suddenly all jump out and exhibit special powers that they have like the X-Men. They've all got unique abilities, but really they're just to help the story move along. They're not to just be showcased as an exhibition in themselves. No one really uses their powers much, other than one particular character who has the ability to time travel, but that's purely for moving the plot. That's not because he's doing anything in particular. But then it's also got good action scenes, as well as these dramatic and sort of involved thrillerish turns, trying to guess who done it and things like that. You've got very good action scenes, and when they're on screen they serve to move the plot forward, and they are very well choreographed and really interesting to watch. And they're always married with a good bit of music. It's usually pop music or something to represent the tone of the scene. This series has got 2 dance breaks in it, where the characters just stop, you have a pop song and they dance to it. And it feels natural and it feels like part of the show, which is a real nice change. None of it feels particularly forced. It's got an eclectic jukebox, and I think a lot of people will comment on how good the music choices are for it. It must have cost them a fortune for some of the songs to be licensed. Every episode is really dense. A lot happens in each episode, to the point where it's quite hard to binge watch to any great degree. Maybe watch 2 episodes at a time, and you have to digest what has gone on in it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That shows that it's good, solid, well-made television, and it's not full of filler that you're just sort of glazing over and wading through while you play on your phone or your iPad, waiting for the next sort of action sequence to occur. Everything is involved and everything serves to develop characters and develop the plot. One sort of standout thing is that all the actors are good, but one particular actor who plays the character named Number 5, and he's a child, he's excellent. He's meant to be a sort of 13-year-old boy with a 50, 60-year-old man's mind in his body, and he gets across the fact that he is 50 or 60 really well. When there's no reason for him to know how to do that as a child actor. He is a standout, and I know when I was talking about this with a friend, he also said the same thing as me. He said, yeah, that kid is just really, really good. And he was also supported by an excellent cast of actors. A lot of people recognise the British faces in the cast, as well as Ellen Page, who plays Vanya, the sort of cast out child that has no powers. She really looks the part. It's got a good ending. It is a unresolved ending, let's say, with a clear link to a second series, and I'm really glad, and I'm really looking forward to a second series. A lot of the time I like my shows like this to be bookended, so you know that if something goes wrong and they cancel it, you're not left hanging with any resolution. This manages to achieve the task of some resolution being gained, even though you wouldn't on first blush think that there has been, and make you also want the next series. Yeah, Umbrella Academy, a really good watch. You don't need to have read the comic books beforehand. I haven't. There's something that always appeared in my Comixology recommended for you like feed, but I've always ignored it because it just I've got other things to do and read. But you can enjoy it quite a lot where having read it. I certainly did, and I'm sure due to the level of care that has clearly been taken with it, if you have read the comic books or want to, they will complement each other quite nicely. So yeah, Umbrella Academy, definitely one to watch before someone spoils the end for you or any plot developments.